most of us here. Welcome to another edition of Ask the Chiropractor. On Ask the Chiropractor is a little podcast where we talk about if you have a question about chiropractic, the most beneficial person to ask would be a chiropractor because we are the only ones with an education and degree in chiropractic. Asking other people, they don't really study chiropractic or know chiropractic. So where a lot of people might ask their family doctor before going to a chiropractor, I'm just here to tell you that almost every family doctor has no education on what chiropractors do or don't do. Think about it like your teeth. When you have a question about your teeth, do you go ask your family doctor or do you find a dentist that you trust and respect and ask the dentist? So the point of this podcast is for people who have a question about chiropractic, they can email us, direct message us, or call us, and we'll be happy to answer your question. So today's question on Ask the Chiropractor, a question about chiropractic for a chiropractor would be sciatica. What is sciatica? Can chiropractors help? What does it take to be a chiropractic patient? And how does chiropractic work with sciatica? So let's talk about what sciatica is first. The sciatic nerve is a big nerve that goes down your leg. It starts on your backside, down your rear end, on the back of your leg to your knee. And everywhere from the knee down does the sciatic nerve. Now the front of your leg, the thigh is a different nerve and your groin's a different nerve. But basically everywhere else waist down is the sciatic nerve. The sciatic nerve is the widest nerve in the body. It's about as wide as your thumb in some places. And it starts in your lower back and travels down through your pelvis, down your leg. Now why is that important? Well, it starts from your bottom vertebrae. And if your bottom vertebrae are misaligned, or as chiropractors call them subluxated, that creates stress. Now that stress will hit that nerve and go down that nerve, and stress travels as it goes down that nerve, causing the sciatic to flare up, hence the name sciatica, irritation of the sciatic nerve. So if that lower back is misaligned, that's what we see. Now the next thing, or something else that could happen, is your pelvis can rotate. Now when my pelvis or my hips rotate, what happens is they go one direction, but my tailbone doesn't want to go. Well, there's a muscle that connects your tailbone to your hip called the piriformis muscle. And what happens is as the hips rotate or twist and turn, the sacrum, the tailbone stays in place and this muscle gets pulled and stretched and irritated. And a muscle that's pulled and stretched is irritated gets sticky. And that sticky muscle's right there. The sciatic nerve is going above it, some of us below it, if you're really unlucky, through it. And that muscle gets all inflamed and irritated and it grabs that nerve and mimics sciatica from the lower back, but in the pelvis, and it goes down the nerve down your leg, hence you have another form of sciatica. So as chiropractors, we're trained to look at to see the cause of your sciatica, which one of these different areas is involved. Now, how do we tell this? Well, you can do it by a chiropractic exam and a chiropractic x-ray. Those of you who have listened to my podcast before know that I would never visit a chiropractor who does not x-ray. Now, the exception would be obviously if you were pregnant or something like that, but 95% of the time, the chiropractor should take x-rays. The chiropractor didn't take x-rays. We've seen it here a million times before where somebody can get really badly injured or hurt or misdiagnosed without knowing. So, I have my x-rays taken, I have my exam done. Now, can I go to the medical doctor first? Have the medical doctor look at me, diagnose me with sciatica? Well, if that medical doctor took x-rays of you, those x-rays can be used at the chiropractor clinic also, provided you were standing up during the x-rays. I've had some medical doctors tell my patients that you don't have to be standing up for the x-rays. The chiropractor doesn't need you to stand. Let the chiropractor decide what the chiropractor needs. The medical doctor doesn't know. The chiropractor has to have the x-ray standing up. We're trying to evaluate you in the standing position. We can't do that if you're not standing. So the chiropractor will look at the x-rays. Now, let me talk about when a chiropractor looks at your x-rays versus a family doctor looking at your x-rays. A lot of it we do is the same. We're looking for, tumors, we're looking for fractures, we're looking for pathologies and stuff like that. That's the same. I mean, we have the same education on that. They study that and we study that. Even Steven there. The difference is when we look at your x-rays, we're looking at the alignment, same to see where the bones are rotated, turned, or twisted. That is difference in our education. Now, I'm not saying they couldn't figure it out. I'm just telling you that's not what they're educated for, but that's one of our main focuses of our education that we really look at intensely. One time I got an x-ray report from a family physician where they described the scoliosis in the spine, where the spine makes an S shape. They talked about how it's 28 degrees to the left, 27 degrees to the right, and then they said the spine was in normal alignment. Not sure they know what that word means, normal alignment, because if you have a scoliosis, that's by definition a scoliotic misalignment of the spine. I mean, it's in the word itself. So, and I read that out loud to the patient. Even the patient laughed pretty hard, thinking, well, that doesn't make any sense. How could you have a scoliosis and nothing's misaligned? So I don't know how they use the word. Maybe there's a different definition that I don't know. But yeah, let the chiropractor decide if you're misaligned or not. I would never, ever, ever go by a medical radiologist. Matter of fact, in chiropractic, we have our own radiologists, probably for this reason. Let the chiropractor look at your x-rays. But if you're standing up and the x-rays are taken, it doesn't matter where they were taken. We have our own x-ray machine here. Again, I wouldn't go to a chiropractor who does an x-ray, but we accept x-rays from other places. So let us look at it, give us the opinion of whether or not you have sciatica from your spine. Next, after we evaluate the x-rays, we're going to look at things and we're going to start coming up with a care plan. Now you can assume that you're going to come in probably 2 to 3 times a week, or maybe more, 4 or 5 times a week. That's where the doctoring part of doctor of chiropractic kicks in. We have to look at your overall health of your spine, your overall health. Do you have healthy discs? Do you have bad discs? Do you have a rotation and a bend, or do you have just a bend or just a rotation? Are there multiple levels involved? Is it just the one spot? Your overall health of you too, your mental, physical, chemical health, where do you sit in that spectrum? So once we kind of look at those things, a good chiropractor then will give you a care plan, a recommendation of care. Like, I think I should see you daily the first week, 3 times a week for 2 weeks, twice a week for, I don't know. It's going to be different for everybody, so don't go tell them that's what I said. It's going to be different for everybody. After that, you should have some reevaluations and some determinations, some goals in your care along the way. Along the way, also, we usually implement exercises and stretches, like homework for you to work on home for yourself to make yourself better along the way. So talk to the chiropractor about what can I do better at home to make this speed up and go away, to complement the chiropractic care. In extreme cases, we'll call in physical therapists to work with us if it's been there for 2 or 3 years because you just didn't want to go to the chiropractor. You might have some muscle atrophy where you lost some of your muscle tone. So we'll work with a physical therapist to get that back faster, because you want to get better faster too, and we want to help you get better faster. And then we start slowing down the visits. So as you heal, the visit frequency slows down. I've had some people come to the chiropractor 3 times a week for 2 to 3 years. That's not slowing down. That's a reason to look for somebody else. Unless you know there's more. The chiropractor tells you there's more. Usually you slow down. So what should I start to feel? How do I know it's working? How do I know the chiropractor's helping me? Well, one, every time you get adjusted, it should feel better and better. Every time you get adjusted, it should feel looser, better and better. You yourself just start to notice you can bend and twist and move around better. You should feel more at ease. There's a word we use, ease. You should feel more at ease. Next thing you start to experience is, besides being able to maybe put your socks back on again, the floor gets closer because you can bend better. Well, once that starts to happen, then the nerve starts to heal. So usually the misalignment, or we call the subluxation, improves, and then the nerve heals. And as the nerve starts to heal, you start to feel your leg and the sciatic pain go away. Again, this is different for everybody. We take care of professional hockey players here, and we take care of people that have, only time they sweat is when they get off the couch. Those 2 people are going to heal at much different rates. Your chiropractor will give you an idea on that. So, last thing that usually show up in the sciatic case is pins and needles or numbness, and conversely, the last thing to go away is usually the numbness. But your chiropractor can talk to you about all those things. Well, I hope I answered the question about chiropractic care, sciatica, and how it works, and what a timetable looks like and recovery time looks like. If you have a question about chiropractic, ask a chiropractor. I hope I stressed that enough today. So if you want to reach out to us, go to our website, rockforddc.com, rockforddc.com. Leave us a message or contact us on the website. You can also see other videos like this I've done. So if you want to see more or hear more, go there. You can find all the old ones. We have a search. You can look up different things. And again, if you have a question, shoot it our way. Maybe next time you'll be the question of the week. Thank you.